Happy holidays, everyone. This is NoDQ Live, and I am being joined once again in person by good old JM Jeff Meacham. How are you doing this Christmas Eve?
I was gonna say, you know what? It's not Happy Holidays. It's the 24th, Riff. Merry Christmas, okay? I'm not gonna be PC today. I just got off work, doing a 9-hour shift at the new job, and I'm tired. But you know what? You're in town, so we're going to NoDQ Live, damn it.
Hell yeah, we're here for NoDQ Live. I think today's main topic will be 2016 in review, as well as maybe previewing 2017. You guys can send in your questions. Derek says talk about TNA. Let's talk about TNA. What have been your overall thoughts?
I've literally not watched a single episode all year. I literally have not.
Well, you said on one of our year-end award videos that you were watching the Matt Hardy stuff. So are you lying to people?
No, I've been watching on YouTube. I've been watching clips that they've been posting on the internet. I've not sat down and watched.
So you did not watch Total Nonstop Deletion?
Not the whole way through, no.
Wow. Jeff, you need to get on board and watch delightful TNA Impact programming.
Wonderful. Yes. No, I've actually been talking
It is sunny here.
Yeah. I've actually been talking with X-Pac because he has a new podcast. Not new, but new to me because I've been listening to the podcast. And he had Sugar Shane, Hurricane Helms on recently, and he was talking about TNA and the fact that the stuff there is actually good. And I guess Helms went into the pit of resurrection, whatever the hell it's called, the pool of resurrection, and became Sugar Shane again. I didn't see that, but I'm sure it was hysterical.
Well, you missed it. Yeah, I mean, the only thing is they did not have the other 3 count guys. They should have had...
See, if I'm TNA, when Helms and the other 2 guys go into the pool, they come out as Evan Courageous and Shannon Moore. Right. That's how I booked that, but they didn't do that, did they?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. See, the wrong people are booking TNA. I should be booking TNA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm here in SoCal. I'm actually used to the colder weather down here now. I mean, this is warm to me.
I was going to say, it's 49 degrees. You're in a T-shirt.
It's 49 degrees,
shorts.
and I'm just wearing a T-shirt here. I mean, that's what happens when you go to Portland. You deal with the colder weather.
Exactly. You know what? But it's funny you mentioned the car that I wouldn't last up there. I think that I get used to Portland weather because I enjoy Oregon so much, and I miss the fact that my mom's family is up there, and there's a car starting right behind us, so you have to forgive us.
Yeah, she was like looking at us, feeling guilty.
She was trying so hard not to start the car in front of us. But
yeah, I'm like, it's no big deal. So if there are a few sound issues, we are outdoors here.
Who is the best TNA writer ever?
Vince Russo?
No.
I would say so. I mean, I always thought Russo's shows were entertaining. Even if they were train wrecks, they were entertaining train wrecks.
Make NoDQ great again. From John. Oh, from John Dow. Yeah, he's an old buddy.
What's the best city that TNA had a show? I think Massachusetts. When they did the show in I forgot the city, but when they were up in the Northeast, I think it was one of those lockdown pay-per-views. They had a pretty good crowd.
They do pretty well as far as the product on the road. When they venture outside of Universal Studios, they actually do pretty decent stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's a matter of it's so funny. I've been listening to the different podcasts now, X-Pac and Ric Flair, things like that. And the one word that keeps coming up is rebranding. The TNA name is very much like the WCW name, very much like the ECW name toward the end. It left people with a bit.
Oh, Lowell, Massachusetts, Angle versus Joe.
That's
so
right.
That was it.
Lowell, the site of the Lost My Smile speech. Lowell's a very popular wrestling city, so a lot of shit happens there. Stuff. So, oh no, we're on YouTube. Shit. I said shit. That's right. I did.
Hey now, this is a PG video, bro.
PG video? It's NoDQ Live. When has NoDQ Live ever been PG in the last 20 years or whatever the hell it's been? No. TNA's name, the name TNA has left people with a bitter taste in their mouth for ever since really Hogan and Bischoff showed up.
Yeah.
So I think that everybody that I talk to is absolutely right. Whoever gets control of TNA here at the end of 2016 needs to just completely shut it down and reboot it as something else and start from scratch. Because the way it is now is not working.
Yeah. All right. Enough questions about TNA, Derek. If we just answer Derek's questions, we're going to be talking about TNA the whole time.
Which I clearly do not want to do for however long we're going to be here.
Let's talk about WWE. Alan asked about WWE Raw in 2016. I mean, overall, 2016, do you think it was better or worse than 2015? I would say slightly better.
Slightly,
but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. In my opinion.
You know what? It's a talk we have all the time, you and I, when we're not on the air. complacency.
Yeah.
WWE is very much full of their own stuff because they don't have any real competition. TNA tried their best, if you can believe it, 6 years ago already, to go against them, and didn't work. And TNA always presented themselves as the alternative to WWE, and when they tried to compete, they failed. And WWE's like, we won. They don't see Ring of Honor. They see Ring of Honor as a commodity to purchase. Because, they're trying to bring them onto the network now. I mean, that's what you were saying on the website. They're trying to bring in Ring of Honor. They're trying to bring in Evolve into the network. They're trying to literally take over the wrestling world again, like Vince did in '84. He's literally trying to, once again, rule the wrestling world as a whole.
Yeah.
He's even signing away Japan's greatest stars, Mexico's greatest stars. WWE is once again in that mode of expansion and rebranding and retooling everything.
They got the UK
They got the UK Championship, which I think that tournament is going to be serious business. You got Nigel doing the commentary, which Nigel, and from what Michael Cole said, Nigel's going to be involved in more than just commentary.
And Michael Cole apparently played a role in getting him in the company.
And you know what? Then God bless Michael Cole, because you know what? Nigel has a mind akin to somebody like Raven or Jake Snake Roberts, where he's got so much creativity in that frame of his that has not been let out of the bottle yet. So I'm looking forward to the UK tournament.
Let's get a little bit controversial here because Michelle asked about Michelle Klein-Haas. You remember Rich Haas from My Dad's Band?
I do.
Yeah. Anyways, her question was about Linda McMahon. What do we think about her being part of Donald Trump's administration? And somebody asked, what do you think about the president-elect being a WWE Hall of Famer? That's right. Did you ever think that somebody inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame would be running our country?
Well, the most recent episode of X-Pac went to 360, by the way, on iTunes.
You're going to get us in trouble with your politics.
No, I'm not. X-Pac show is on iTunes and YouTube. You gotta check that out. The most recent episode I listened to was the one after the election.
Right.
And they were talking about Linda McMahon. They were talking about President-elect Trump being a WWE Hall of Famer. And you know what? I never thought I would see it, but you know what? People, not necessarily you and I, because we all know who you voted for. You made that very clear on Facebook. But
I threw my vote away.
You did. You're a bad American, Rift. You're a bad American.
If I didn't vote, then I was a bad American for not voting. If I do vote,
but because you didn't vote for Hillary, you're an even worse American. So that's the way people think. Regardless of what we think of his views on the world, the fact of the matter is his fan base, a lot of whom are WWE people, a lot of whom are the WWE universe, got him into that seat. And now you have one of the chief architects of WWE as a whole, Linda McMahon, in an advisory capacity for him in his cabinet.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know what, she's a perfect fit. She made 2 senatorial bids. She failed, but you know what, she's
like John Cena. She never gives up.
And you know what, she is a
shout out to Lee, by the way, in
Lee?
Thailand.
Oh, wrong way. She's a smart lady. She's a great businesswoman. I think that regardless of her political views,
Gilberto's here.
Oh, goody. Hi, Gil. She may help steer him in the right direction because she's smart. She knows her stuff, and she knows about business. Lord knows she knows about business.
Right.
She and her husband helped build an empire.
All right, so let's talk about AJ Styles. I mean,
let's talk AJ Styles. I agree with
Michael
that,
wants to
yes.
ask about a potential triple threat at WrestleMania: John Cena versus Undertaker versus AJ Styles.
No.
Now, WWE did a poll. They did a poll on their website. Who should be in the main event at WrestleMania 33? And AJ is winning the poll by a huge margin. I mean, way more than Cena, way more than Undertaker. I mean, AJ's dominating the poll, and it's no secret AJ is dominating the NoDQ.com Superstar of the Year poll. He's actually got like 4 categories he's winning in, including Finisher of the Year. I mean, 2016. I mean, the real big story of this year was AJ Styles, I think. I mean, AJ Styles
is having arguably
the best first year.
The best first year in WWE history, besides maybe Kurt Angle.
There's a few guys, Ric Flair too, winning the Royal Rumble and all that.
But the difference is Flair always had that NWA WCW stigma to him. Even when he was the WWE champion, he was still the NWA guy. Angle came in fresh. AJ came in reeking of TNA stink and immediately made an impact in the Royal Rumble, and he's had a career year.
Yeah, it's been an amazing year.
He has completely turned everybody around that thought he'll never succeed outside of TNA, he'll never go past Japan, he'll never do anything better than Ring of Honor. He is the face that runs the damn place. He is. He's the phenomenal one. He's the WWE champion. He's the guy that we all look for on SmackDown to get his butt kicked.
Yeah, Sean says AJ wins this year's WWE MVP. I think that's...
AJ wins this year's everything. He is the man, and you and I saw him when he was the crew cut, baby-faced, little, guy that just really got his swagger, if you will, in TNA. And now he's the man in WWE. And I'm proud of him as a fan that he's come so far in just this year alone.
Yeah.
It's so awesome for me as a fan to see the guy that we all rooted for in TNA for almost 15 years to be the WWE champion.
Yeah, we were there at the PWG shows, at the, what's the other show in City of Industry?
Adrenaline, yeah. Well, no, that was...
No, the one where we interviewed him. Frankenstein's.
Epic, yeah.
Yeah, so we saw him back then, when he was just making a name for himself. So, I mean, to see him succeed in WWE, I mean, it's really incredible and unbelievable because, even 5 years ago, we didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah, 5 years ago, his career was over. He was on the exiles. He was on the outskirts of TNA. He was being exiled by Dixie, and now here he stands.
I mean, it's just phenomenal. I mean, there's only one way to put it.
How do you not be Dixie Carter, kicking yourself and drowning your own tears right now, losing that guy?
Yeah.
My God.
Just goes to show.
Losing him, losing Daniels, losing Frankie, Joe. Seriously, her 4 top stars.
Merry Christmas, Michelle.
Merry Christmas, Michelle. Her 4 top guys in the X Division are now big stars in Ring of Honor and WWE.
Yeah, we see Samoa Joe's,
NXT champion 2 times
most
already.
likely on the main roster in 2017. I think it's inevitable now.
And how about Samoa Joe? A guy who, was, not a young guy by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, Brendan wants to ask, how does Joe fit in on the main roster now?
Any way he wants. He's a badass. Joe.
I mean, I would debut him at the Rumble and have him... I would have him eliminate Brock Lesnar. What I would do is have Brock eliminate Goldberg to set up their WrestleMania match, because we know that's going to happen.
Right.
And then Brock is waiting for somebody, and that's when Joe comes out, and Joe shocks the world and eliminates Brock Lesnar.
Kind of like the Austin spot where he was waiting. Here comes Brett, his #1 rival.
Exactly.
I would totally agree with you on that. Excuse me. Samoa Joe just kind of saunters down to the ring. It's like, that's right.
And Joe wouldn't have to win the Rumble as long as Joe eliminated Brock and got his big moment.
I see no reason to hotshot Joe winning the Rumble just yet.
I mean that's a way Joe could get over without having to beat Lesnar in a match. Just eliminate Lesnar, and that sets him up as a top star right from the get-go. I mean, what better way to debut with the company than to eliminate the Beast Brock Lesnar out of the Royal Rumble match?
If Joe wasn't such a big guy, I would have him eliminate Brock and then have Heyman be riding on Joe and have Joe be the referee. But Joe's too big to be referee, so I don't know if that would work.
Right. Now, somebody else asked here about AJ Styles versus Finn Balor for WrestleMania. Finn is back in time.
If Finn is back in time, fans, a wonderful dream.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we lost you guys there for a second, and the video froze on our end. I apologize if there are technical difficulties. I mean,
we are live, if you will.
Yeah, AT&T is not always the most reliable.
We are literally live and in public, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
We are.
We did have an audience here for a few minutes. That woman seemed to be enjoying our video, or maybe she was just feeling bad about.
I probably feel bad about starting the car because she knows we're trying to do, a grassroots situation here.
Dylan asks about Brock versus Nakamura. What do you think about that?
Dylan can't be asking about Brock Lesnar. He's not watching this show. He's asleep at his mom's house.
Oh, I'm talking about Dylan Folk.
Oh, that Dylan. Okay.
Not Dylan Meacham, folks.
Dylan, go back to bed. It's not time for Santa yet. Go back to bed. It's early yet. What did he ask? I'm sorry.
He asked about Nakamura versus Brock. Do you think that would be an interesting match in WWE?
No, only because Nakamura has the reputation for being a great competitor, but not a badass. Joe has the badass reputation. Joe's the money against Lesnar.
Well, you want like the bulls, you want the characters that are like these big horned bulls.
Which is why Goldberg and Brock work so well. In spite of my dislike of Goldberg, it's freaking working for him.
And I think Nakamura is more fitting to work with guys like AJ Styles and that sort of thing.
Nakamura is a more technically grounded guy with a little bit of entertaining flair to him. Joe's a badass. Brock's a badass. Goldberg's a badass. Undertaker's a badass. Those guys are going to be working together. Not necessarily Undertaker, and that style of guy. Nakamura's more of a comedic flair, but when he needs to turn it on, he'll turn it on.
Joe versus Styles in a WWE main event. What do you think about that?
Oh my God. Yes, please.
I mean,
SummerSlam. Yes, please.
Definitely. Sometime down the line, that would be a great one to see. Nakamura versus Kevin Owens is another one we might see in 2017.
You know what? somebody, I forget who it was I was listening to, one of the shows, somebody brought up there are so many dream matches. Watching the indie, you don't watch indies very much. I'm sure you do now. But,
I watch NXT. If you want to call that an indie, I
pretty
guess.
much, yeah. There's so many guys coming up from NXT, and so many guys that are being brought in from the
Tyson
indies.
wants to be on your list.
Tyson who?
I don't know. Tyson. I missed the name. Tyson something.
Come back around and ask again, Tyson. We'll see if you make the list. Keep watching the thing while I talk to you. There's so many guys that come around from the indie circuit that people have been talking about dream matches WWE against WWE superstars, and now we're getting those matches. Nakamura's there, Joe's there, Finn Balor's there, AJ
Owens
Styles
versus
is there.
me.
We almost had that when he kept botching the promo. He almost got pissed at him and started swinging, if I recall.
I thought that was Sandman.
No, remember AJ botched the promo 3-4 times. He still didn't get right in the final cut, remember?
Yeah.
This is phenomenal AJ Styles, and you're listening. Text MV.
Or watching,
whatever you're doing. Hey, okay. Sandman was drunk. He had an excuse. AJ just didn't have...
Well, you know what? It's so amazing, going back to AJ, how much better he's gone on the mic since coming to WWE.
Go back. It's on his YouTube page. Go watch that promo that he cut for us 11 years ago.
He needed like 6 takes to say you're watching XMV on NoDQ.com.
And he still said listen in the final cut. So he still screwed it up. He's the best heel on SmackDown right now, besides The Miz.
Yeah, he's just... I'm really impressed how good he got on the mic this year in WWE. I mean, he really stepped it up, and he can talk now.
He's done so much good for his own reputation, let alone WWE's reputation. There's no downside to him right now.
Do you think WWE will ever bring in Saban? Or is it too late for him? How old is Saban now? I mean, for somebody like Daniels, I think it's too late. But Saban's
maybe? Not a young man. I don't know how old Chris is. God, we've known Chris for 15 years now.
Maybe late 30s. I'm not.
I would say late 30s. If Chris can stay healthy, because he's had some neck issues. If Chris can stay healthy, then maybe. But I think the money with Chris there is more Ring of Honor with Alex and the other partner they have in Ring of Honor right now. And I think he likes where they're at. I don't think he has a desire to go to the E necessarily.
What about somebody like Jay Lethal? What do you think about him possibly?
I think Jay Lethal should be in WWE right now. I think he had the greatest career in Ring of Honor history, and I mean even better than Bryan, even better than Punk, better than anybody. And he's still going to Ring of Honor. I think if WWE calls him on the telephone, he needs to answer that call.
Yeah. What about Jack? Chad asks about Jack Evans coming into WWE. I know Mike would approve of that, Mike Nagel.
I'm not commenting on Jack Evans.
No comment on Jack Evans? I mean, I think he changed his look, drastically from how he looked in 2005, 2006.
I will say this about Jack Evans, and I'll leave it at this because I'm going to get a little upset. When it came down time to choose godparents for my son, I chose Jack. That's one of because he was close friends with Jade and close friends with me.
Yeah.
Then he moved to Mexico. We have not seen him since that last time we all went to Gorilla together out in Reseda.
Yeah.
And Dylan was in the car. You remember that when we brought Jack to the car to see his godson and he was sleeping?
Yeah.
Jack has not seen his godson since then. And I have regrets on making that decision now. If Jack were to come back to the United States and wrestle for WWE, then there would be a situation where he and I would talk. He's a great worker. He's one of the best there's ever been in the indie circuit. But his personal priorities are skewed.
What about Will Ospreay?
Oh my God, this guy! I've only seen him on YouTube, and only seen him. Like I saw his match against Ricochet.
He can flip like nobody else's business.
The guy, but he's so much more than a spot monkey. He really is. He's got a great ground base too.
Oh, Jeremiah asked about Eli Drake.
To Sean Ricker. Oh my God, I love Eli Drake.
Dummy, yeah.
Dummy, yeah.
Oh,
keep talking.
Wait a minute. No, I don't want to get in the copyright claim here, Jeff. Because
I bought it. I paid for this.
Remember, it's going up on YouTube, so I don't want to get in trouble for it.
I won't turn it.
But yeah, I think I always
paid 99 cents for the Dummy Yeah app. Okay, that's how awesome I think Eli Drake is.
I mean, I thought that he was. He's one of the better promos in TNA. I mean, I think he's a really good talker.
There's no greater endorsement for Eli Drake than the fact that he was the last client ever for Percy Pringle III.
That's pretty significant.
Percy saw something in Sean Ricker that nobody else saw for years.
Good point.
And Percy managed him to greatness in NWA Hollywood, and that's what got him signed by TNA in the first place.
Yeah, so
Percy gives you the spot, dude.
I'd like to see EC3 and Eli Drake get another shot in WWE someday.
Well, yeah, they were both in the system for a while because Ricker's on the Triple H workout DVD that I have.
It just goes to show, like with AJ, you know, TNA doesn't know how to market these guys and make them larger than life.
TNA is very much WCW-esque. They have great talent.
Even worse, because at least WCW had Goldberg and DDP.
No, but here's the difference, though. Goldberg was a homegrown talent, and they blew him through the moon. DDP was kind of homegrown. He came from the AWA from Florida, but he made his name in WCW, and they blew him through the moon eventually.
Sting.
Well, Sting. Yeah, Sting. Okay, Sting. They had good marketing to an extent. TNA has homegrown talent through the yin-yang, but their marketing is just the drizzling poops. It's terrible. And from somebody that has a marketing that made her name in the business world as a marketing genius, what the hell, Dixie?
I know, right?
And then you had the Smashing Pumpkins
and
frontman.
That's what I tell people.
Doing their business.
Well, not anymore.
But he was for the longest time. And they couldn't get marketing from Billy Corgan.
Well, he wanted control. The problem is, as long as Dixie has some sort of power in TNA, I don't see it making a comeback.
You need to find out how much TNA will cost to buy, because you've got money.
Not that much money.
Damn it.
Although, it is TNA.
It is TNA.
So, maybe.
WCW sold for $2 million. Whatever, $3 million. We can raise $3 million and buy TNA.
But the thing is, do I really want that brand name? I mean, it just...
No, I want to own the library.
It needs a total overhaul, in my opinion.
That's what I was saying when we first started the show. TNA needs a complete shutdown and restart. They need to do what WCW was trying to do in 2001. The Big Bang. They need to completely go away for a while and come back with the right talent, just a different name.
Maybe they could do like an actual invasion storyline where the invaders actually destroy the company.
That'd be interesting. I love to see Matt Hardy completely lose his damn mind and destroy the company from within.
Like, imagine like if NWO actually destroyed WCW and there was no WCW. Like, this TNA could do something like that, where these invaders, super cool badasses, come in and take down the company, and it's just completely rebranded.
I say we have the Hardys just lose their minds and make the company implode from within.
Too sweet.
Too sweet. You know what? How about the Bullet Club invades TNA and WWE both?
I mean, the Young Bucks, I guess, are sticking with Ring of Honor for now, but I think they should be in WWE too. And if TNA played their cards right, you know, they had them. They had
Generation Me, and they blew that one too. The Bucks are the most talented tag team I have ever seen.
And they haven't named their finisher after me, and I still endorse them. What? They haven't.
Oh, they haven't. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Man, Meltzer. Yeah. Sorry. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not understanding what you're trying to say.
Jeff missed the joke there for a second.
No, you know, I thought you said they had named after you. I'm like,
you just misheard me. Yeah, it's windy
the
out
Meltzer
here.
driver. Yeah. No.
And I still endorse them though.
Well, they finally did though. They finally did.
Yeah.
And more power to him, because it took him long to figure it out. The Young Bucks are the greatest tag team.
I know, right? Like, Meltzer is finally on the PWG bandwagon now. We were on it like over a decade ago.
We were on it when they weren't that good.
I know. When nobody knew PWG, we were endorsing them.
I follow this thing on Facebook called Independent Wrestling. Every match I see from that thing, it feels like it's PWG or Japan now. PWG, yeah, they're charging through the ass now to get into that little bitty Legion Hall out there in Reseda. But their stuff is unbelievable. I've been watching DVDs and whatnot. They've gotten better and better.
That's pretty much the only way you can watch them. I mean, their shows, they sell out like in 30 seconds now, charging like $60.
$40 for
$60 for general admission now.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, people are paying it.
They are.
People are paying it.
So
they're doing something right out there. And you know what? If ever comes a time I have a windfall of money, we'll all go again. We'll all go again.
Yeah, so those are some of the names we think should be in. Well, some people on here do not like the Young Bucks that much. So those are some of the names we think should be in WWE
Young Bucks,
2017.
Jordan Hill, Young Bucks. You know what, Jordan Hill? You know what happens when you talk about the Young Bucks like that? You just made the list!
All right, so Jordan Hill is on the list of Meacham. There we go. There are
Log him on Facebook.
There are a few indie promotions in Oregon, but not a lot. I mean, there's a lot more down here, obviously, with PWG and alternative wrestling show and Wade
Well,
show,
but
Empire Wrestling Federation.
AWS, Bart runs like once a year now, so it's not really,
Oh, well, then I'm just way behind the times.
It's not even that. Bart runs when he wants to run because he doesn't have to run anymore. So it's
Yeah. What about Lucha Underground? Have you been following it at all?
Nope.
Nope, I haven't either. I mean, I gave it a shot.
I did too. I
I
tried so hard to look past the corny.
Have you watched the What Culture? Because people always ask me about the What Culture for
Somebody
wrestling.
said that on YouTube, on Twitter for next week's Talk Wrestling. I have not seen that.
I have not seen it either, and
I hear good things.
Well,
but,
they apparently have a lot of money. I mean, they're making more money than I am on YouTube, so they can afford to bring in Kurt Angle and all that. They should buy TNA. The What Culture guys should buy TNA. They're making enough
No
money.
one is better than Roman Reigns. You know what? Dylan's trying to get us debate to make him go on the list. Because it's so funny. I put that Jishnu, I believe his name is on Twitter. I put him on the list for continually criticizing Roman Reigns. That's why you're on the list, Jishnu, because you kept ragging on Roman. There is no need to rag on Roman Reigns.
Well, you know, David Payne.
And I did not watch that video yet. David's into some controversial stuff.
Yeah, David's in a little bit of a
David's in a little bit of a mood.
Pickle. He's in a pickle.
He's in a pickle, if you will.
But we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. But you know what? Hey, you know what? Everybody's out of their opinion. But my dad always said it. My grandpa always said it best. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them, and most of them stink.
What about Emelina? You looking forward to her debut?
I'm looking forward to Emma coming back.
Will she debut in 2017? That's the question. Will we even see her in 2017?
How about we debut? How about the last Raw of the year she debuts? Maybe it be 2016.
Maybe they'll debut her in 2018. Who knows right now?
If they keep putting the pictures up of her in the bikinis, I'm not going to care.
Well, there you go.
I just don't care. I like to see her wrestle because she's a good wrestler, but, you know, I'm over it.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Thank you guys so much for watching this. That's a little bit of our thoughts on 2016 and 2017.
And you know, it's so funny. People are criticizing me for making the list of Meacham, copying the list of Jericho. Today we gave you the gift of NoDQ on Christmas Eve. Drink it in, man.
Watch it in, man.
Watch it in, man. That's right. The gift of NoDQ. And we will sign off on that note. Should I do the old XMV catchphrase?
No.
No? Why not? It's funny.
You got to come up with something original. You got to stop copying and stealing from everybody, damn it.
Oh, yeah, I can't copy and steal anymore. That's rude and unprofessional and disrespectful.
I would like to thank everybody from the NoDQ team for tuning in, the fan base, the universe.
The NoDQ universe is awesome to us each and every week with NoDQ and AV.
The club, the crew.
They're all...
I'll just steal every name.
That's right.
Thank you guys
just
so much for watching.
Remember, when you're no DQ for life.
Too sweet. No D crew or screw you. How about that one?
Yeah, I like that. That's good. We'll close on that.
All right, so thank you guys very much. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Joyful Kwanzaa.
Happy Halloween next
Happy
October.
Hanukkah. There you go.
We will see you guys next time.
Happy Groundhog Day, bitches.
Thank you very much for watching.